All right, let's continue with chapter 4. I'm going to share my screen and then I'm going to get started. All righty, so we're in chapter 4. We're working with vendors today, which are very important, and you always have to have a good relationship with everybody. All righty, so we want to go in our QuickBooks, but we're not. Okay, let's go through here. We're going to set up, edit settings, preferences, all kinds of good stuff. So please read that. Also, please go here and read that, watch the video. These are really good videos. And then we're going to go in our test. So let's see, open link in the chat. And let's see if it does it. Yep. Continue. All righty. Let me get this out of the way. So we're well set up. What's going on here? All right. And let's push this a little bit further. Perfect. All right, we're going to start with develop your skills for -1, sorry about that. In this exercise, you will add a new vendor. Okay, so our vendors, if you look in the accountant view, this is the accountant view, you have everything that has to do with bills, vendors, expenses, contractors, you have that all in here. If you have your settings switched to business view, what your client will see, you will have it under get paid and paid down here. All righty. Okay, but let's switch back to accountant view, which is much better to me. All righty, expenses. So they say click expenses on the navigation bar, which this is, and then say vendors. Okay. So here we have an overview of what's going on with all our vendors. And then it says click new vendor. Type morning supplies as a company name. Company name, morning supplies. All right, wonderful. Yes, autofill, there's a phone number they want us to put in. It's 650-555-8814. And then there's also an address, which is 1458 Magnolia. That's it. Okay. And then Bayshore. State is California and zip is this. Okay, that looks good. We did good. And then choose net 10. Okay, this is down here. So net 10. Perfect. And save. All righty. Good job. Now we're importing. Remember, you have that shortcut here, or you can also do import data here. We just gonna use the shortcut. All righty. And then we need to go in our student file. Oof, sorry, I worked a lot the last couple of days, so let's see if we can find it here. Student exercise file, we're in chapter 4, and that's funny. This chapter does not use student. We're in chapter 4, are we? Okay, import data. All right, sorry about that. I think I just went ahead of myself. Okay, so they just wanted you to show the import function. All righty. That's okay. Now we're going to develop your skill 4. So just read all of this above and see what the magic can do here. All right, so in this exercise, you will edit a vendor, data merge, 2 vendors, records, and blah, blah, blah. All right. Let's choose books by Bessie. This is here. And it's the same thing as the customers, just from a vendor perspective. So we're going to do edit, and they moved. All righty, 9871 Broadway, Palo Alto, California. It's all the same. And then save. Let's go back to the vendors list. Okay, so you can go through this, what I just did, or you can just click here. It's the same thing. Alrighty. Okay, so all right. I do have a little problem with my headphone right now, so I hope now it works out. Okay, so merge 2 vendors. Oh, merging is fun too. You go and choose Tony. Let's go to Tony. He's here. And then all right, say edit. And they want us to do what? Click edit button and then change the vendor display name, this one here, to Lee Advertising. All right, we did. Save. Yes. All right, let's see if that worked out. It should be under L. Yes, it's right here. Okay. And if you go there, now it's there. All righty. Make a vendor inactive. Squeaky clean car. So let's go back to vendors. This one, and we can make an active like this. Okay, we got this done. Then they want you to notice that you can actually see those inactive ones. He's down here, squeaky clean, but now it says, just let me see if you can make this bigger. Now it says deleted, which is not deleted, it's just inactive and you cannot use it anymore unless you activate it back again. So let's just keep it slim and exclude those. Don't forget to do your screenshots. All right, good job. Let's continue on with develop your skill 4-3. You really need to kind of understand what all of this says here. You need to know the basic principles of a balance sheet equation and stuff. And then we're going to go through some stuff and I'm going to explain some stuff. But if you do not know everything or you have questions, you can always email me at do48@students.uwf.edu. Okay. But also read all of this and it will become clear to you. All right. Okay, before you begin recording expense transactions, decide what information should appear on expense forms, then check that form settings are appropriate for your business. All right, so we're going to go here in our account settings, and then we're going to go under expenses because now we're working with vendors, and bill expenses are here. So this is on, on. And then there's default bill payment terms. We're not gonna do this. And then make expenses and items billable. This is here. So when you click there, it is all well done. So I didn't have anything to change. It's already set up like this. All right. Creating check, expense, and bill records. All righty. Okay. This exercise, you will record a check, a credit card purchase, and a debit card purchase for purchases made on September 1st. So we're not in August anymore. We're now in September. And we're just gonna see what happened. Craig stopped by Morning Supplies to purchase some materials he needed. It was a small purchase, so he used a check that he happened to have in his wallet. All right, so we're gonna go on our new button and say check. You don't say bill because we are paying it right now. And we don't say expense either because it will be paid with a check. All right. Check, 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 check. Okay, so payee is Morning Supplies. Okay. The bank account is a checking, so we don't have to change it. We already have this. Payment date. So we have September 1st, 26. All right. The check number is 71. Beautiful. So it is already set. So, and it's a running number. Okay, you usually don't have to, unless you have two separate checkbooks. Like my husband and I, we have two separate checkbooks, so it's not always a running number. And then you have to actually type in the number to be confirmed with it. But for this book and the exercises, you don't have to do anything with it, just let it run. Okay, but if you use it and then you delete it, then you will have a problem with your split transaction split list. So please do not delete anything unless the book tells you. Okay. Alrighty. So we have the payment 71. Choose job materials. So now we're going here. We're going to learn about the text later on. Okay, don't worry about that right now. Job materials. And then we have plant soil. I'm just not sure if that's going to be it because I can't see it. Nope. Job materials, plant soil. Okay, so the way you distinguish is that just says job materials and I cannot actually see. So it says job expense, job materials. Here it says job materials. And when you go on there, it says landscaping services, job materials. Okay. These are the categories and all that stuff that you set up as sub-accounts in your account, chart of account. All right, so, but they want us to do job materials and the sub-account is plants and soil. So this column here signals you that there are a sub-account. All right, so then we have a description, miscellaneous, plant and plant feed. And I apologize, I have that grammar thing everywhere. Can I pause that for a second? Okay, cool. And then the amount is $42.75. And we're not billing it to customers, so don't worry about this right now, and don't worry about this. And nothing about taxes. So it says save and close. All right, so let's just understand what happened. We put in the check, and when we look at our reports now, every time you put something in and you really don't know what's going on, what happened. So first of all, you can do this. So just delete the reports right quick. And you just did that. Okay. You go here, more, and you see your transaction journal. And it will eventually come up. So here you can see what we did. Okay, let's make this big for a second. So on the debit side, it actually expensed, or it put the purchase in our supplies, okay? And then it paid with the checking account here. So when I now go into our reports and say expenses and vendors, and let's say I want to see expenses by vendor summary. Let's say all dates, run report, and then here's morning supplies. And you can see the 42.75. And there they are. They're your expenses. And then you can go back to the bank. Where is the bank? Let's just say balance sheet, and then you can go to your checking. I mean, there's so many ways to go there. And you can see it should be 2026, and it's not there yet. Okay, this is not here. Let's see, because the date is wrong. All right, let's go here and say 9/1/26. Sorry. Okay, and now you can see that it's actually here. Nice. All right, so, and later on, we will also do a bank reconciliation. So technically that check did not hit your bank yet. The check is in the hand of the vendor who did not put it in his bank yet. But in your books, you already have it deducted from your bank account. So when you do a bank reconciliation, you will be off by this amount, but your bank reconciliation will help you to understand why there is a discrepancy. But we're going to learn that in later chapters. All right. Okay, so let's move on with the homework so we can get through this. Create an expense form. All righty. Choose new vendors and expense. Okay, expense. This is our expense form. And what does it say? Choose burger, Bob's Burger Joint. Okay, that's here. It is still checking as the account type if necessary. And okay, so wait a second. Okay, so he paid with his debit card. He did not give a check. He paid with his debit card. And that's why we use expenses, because that will appear on your bank account. Okay, so it's just when you look here, sorry, I just don't want to mess you up, but I feel like sometimes the book doesn't explain it very well. So if you look at these three things, these are the type of expenses, money out, cash payments, or whatever you name it, this is going to be it, okay? So check is when you write a check and you give it to somebody. Expenses is when you pay with a credit card or a debit card that will immediately be visible on your bank statement. Bill is when you receive a bill, but you haven't paid it yet. Okay, so these are just three different options you have when it comes to expenses. All right, that's being said, let's move on. So we said this, and we go here, Bob's Burger Joint, we have checking, and then it's September. The payment method is, and you see, you actually have to decide the payment method. When you go plus new and say check, it's already decided for you, so you don't have to, but this way you have to. So it says the type debit in reference number field. Okay, so this is weird. Okay, choose checking as the account type. Okay, and tap the twice, 1, 2. Type debit and reference number. So I'm not sure how that works out, because if I go here, let's say, choose Bob's Burger Joint, tab, choose checking, tab, choose 9, okay, tab. Okay, so they want us to leave this alone, okay. And then choose meals. Okay. Lunch with Bill. Okay. And then the amount is $24.97. And just compare it with this picture and you'll be fine. So if you have questions about that, go to the picture and look at it and it should be okay. And then say save. So when I click save, it will tell you, okay, it's been done. And you have all of a sudden this more button here where you can go and say transaction journal. And you will see what happened. All right. Okay, go back, save. We did this. Now we need to record credit card. So because it's a credit card, it's immediately visible on your bank or credit card statement. You click expense. All right, and this is very important to remember later on in some of the exercises that will come up, because it's not always specified what you should click, and then you don't know. You have to remember that. All right, so choose new vendors expense we did, and then the vendor is Mahoney Mugs. Okay, the count is MasterCard. The payment date is 9/1/26. Reference number is MasterCard. The category is office expense. Okay, mugs with logo, $36.50. You go down there, you compare it, it matches, you say save, and you'll be good to go. All right, let's move on. Managing accounts payable, well, that's very important to know who is ready to be paid and who has a little bit more time to be paid, especially when you have a little bit of a cash flow issue. Then these are very important reports you can extract and work with it. All right, choose new vendors bill. Okay, so now we're creating a bill. That means we received goods, we received the invoice, but we have not paid it yet. All righty, and then it says computer by Jenny. Here she is. It will come up, the terms is net 15. means payable in 15 days. Okay, and then the due date is automatically calculated. But let's say you have a special date that is not one of these options, and you can add more, but every time you add it, you just, at some point you have so many, you have to scroll, so keep such things just very small. And then you can just overwrite that. All right, so then the bill number is 2026 1515. And in Germany, when I was tax advisor assistant and I did all of this kind of stuff for many, many, many years, it was always a good thing to put the bill number in it, because sometimes you have to reconcile something or there is a mistake or whatever it is, and then you can always refer to the correct bill if you have the bill number. Okay, so we're going to say category is office expense, and description is computer and monitor, and it's $1,345. Makes me wonder why they expense this right away and not depreciate it, but that's not our concern today. We're just doing what they're saying. Okay, just compare that, blah, 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 16. This is, all right, we're good to go. And they want us to say safe. Okay, let's say safe. They want us to look at the journal. There's the journal. I took a screenshot of the journal and put it in my Word document instead of all the little mini steps in between, because that really proves I have done what was asked. All right, so now we're gonna see what our accounts payable do. We're gonna click reports. And then we say in accounts payable. Okay, here, this is the summary. That's what they want. And then it says, as of and they want 9/30/2026, run the report, and you will see the bill that we just put in here. And aging report is very important because you can see, hey, you have really old invoices. So there are 2 reasons or 3 reasons. There's this dispute with the supplier or whoever is your vendor, and you're not willing to pay the invoice, or it got forgotten and you just never pulled that report to see it, or it's wrong. Somebody just entered that in there wrong, and maybe the date was wrong or whatever it is. But these are good indicators that this has to be monitored often. Okay, so let's move on. To see details about various totals, click any amount. Yeah, so basically all the QuickBooks reports have that nice feature. If you see something and you wonder what it is, you just click and you will get some more information about that number. And then you click and click and click, and you will get to the bottom of an issue quite easy. All right. So standard, click standard tab. Okay, so reports, standard. And then UO section. And they want us to do vendor balance summary, just this one here. And look, just see the numbers, exactly the same numbers. That's what we want to see. And that's always nice to have to compare if you did it right or wrong. for the learning effect. Okay, so return to reports. Here we go. Accounts payable aging detail. Okay, accounts payable aging detail is right here, but they want September. And how do you know that they want September? Well, it doesn't specify here, but it says it here. So look what the picture says and then just do what they want you to do. 26, find the report, and it has the same total, has a subtotal here. So it's basically what we just saw, but a little bit different view. Excuse me. All right. So, and then this is the aging report. If you go in your expenses, you will see your aging report here too. And you can say, okay, so what's going on? Overdue. And then here, one purchase order. Okay. Open balances, and there should be Jenny, so you can see what's going on just by clicking at it. You can see what you paid. So it's actually a nice feature to have information at one click. Okay. Other vendor reports, standard can review expenses and purchases. Okay. So I do the fast track here. You just really go line by line. Next, in this exercise, you will prepare a vendor report to show Greg the transaction for each vendor last month. Go to reports, standard tab, expenses and vendors. Okay, they're here. And then vendors, transaction by list by vendor, which is this one here. Okay. And then they say last month, which is, well, here's the thing. Oh, no. Custom dates. So they just changed it. It used to look like this, but they changed it for whatever reason. Okay, so last month was, I don't know. Let's make September because we entered something. Oh gosh, this field is required. Well, I'm trying, really. You cannot type in there. Are you kidding me? Okay, I don't like the new stuff. But we're accountants or going to be, so we have to just get accustomed to the new stuff. 09. I really can't type in there. It's crazy. Oh, this is no good. But usually you don't work 2 years in the future, so. November. Okay, here we go. We finally made it. And then you can do all kinds of stuff, but here we go. And it says morning supplies, Bob's Burger Joint, mugs, and Jenny. So these are the things we just put in, and you can see, okay, this came with a check, debit card, MasterCard, and that was a bill. So it's nice. You can have that if you have questions, did I put it in or whatever, you can have it at one glance. All right. So 4.7, in this exercise, you will pay all the bills that are past due and print checks. All right. So first of all, they want us to do pay bills. Okay, so the first 3 is to enter any expenses, what type of payment you did. Then it says pay bills. Okay. And it says choose checking, choose 9126. I'm glad we still type here. And then the check number is 72, if not updated accordingly. So we don't have to. And then they want us to pay this Norton Robertson. And this, we do not pay Diego. And this other invoice, Computers by Jenny, is not even on here. All right, so they want us to pay $847.67. Let's see. 8644, 205, 315, and 241. Okay. And now they say at the bottom right, choose schedule payments online. Okay. Sorry about that. Let's just, oh no. Am I still in there? Oh, please, 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 please. Okay, so let's say pay bills. What happened here? Why is that red? Schedule online payment. Okay. Sorry, I did not have that come up yet. Bills, pay bills. Let's just try this again. Oh, not this one, sorry. Schedule payment online. Oh, okay, so see, save and print. So you see, this is what I did wrong. I did say schedule payments online, and I was supposed to say save and print, but now it doesn't want me to do checking. Okay, now I have to do the whole shebang here. Okay. Oh, now I can. Okay, so it was MasterCard. That's why it didn't let me save and print, but now I can do it. So please do not click schedule payments online because you're not connected to any online banking. Say save and print. Okay, my apologies. I just clicked. I was click happy. I totally screwed that. Okay, choose voucher as check type here. And then click the yes. I'm finished with setup. Okay, that's here. It says no bills to review. At the top of the print checks window. Well, you just closed it. So where's the print check window? Verify that checking is selected as account type. Enter 72. But we did that. Okay, unpaid. Expense. All right, so this is not doing it for me right now. Expenses, print checks. Okay, so we're back on track. It closed the window, and I don't know how we got that window closed and don't print the checks. So if that happens to you, go here on plus vendors print checks And here are your checks. Okay, sorry, it took me a minute to go there. All right, so preview and print. And now we're in the same window again, okay? Preview and print. Starting check number 72. Okay. Checking, I'm just checking if everything is in order. It looks like it. Okay. Preview and print. Okay, wonderful. And then you see, you usually have a special paper that you put in the printer, and then this goes on that paper. And then before you put it on that expensive paper, you just check everything and make sure you got it. All right. And then say print, and it will give you a PDF. So I don't know if you have to upload that, so you have to look in your module. It doesn't say anything, so I'm just going to close it. You go with whatever your module says, and I'm going to be done with this. Okay, so did your checks print okay? Yes. So if the checks didn't print okay, you can just reprint them, or you can say no, keep all checks and print checklist, just to make sure you have it. But it does not specify, and the last time I did this exercise, it just said done, and so all the checks are done. All right, so return to the expense center and expenses. And now you can actually see that this has changed, and you only have 2 open bills left, and only 1 that is overdue. All right, tackle the task. Let's see. It's a little bit of a longer situation. I'm going to pause here and start a new video for this.